What is up, guys? This is Pinzo back with another video today, and today we've got a tier list. We're doing this live on stream, so if you guys see me talking to chat, that is what that is about. We're gonna just be going. I'm gonna be going alphabetical. S tier is basically pick every game. A tier is still pretty solid. B is kind of like very situational. C is pretty bad, and D's don't play. That kind of stuff. Before we get into it, if you guys go on to enjoy the content, do be sure to leave it a like and a subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys think of my placements down in the comments. I'll be responding to stuff because I'm sure that you guys have different thoughts than I do. I am still sponsored by HelloFresh. You guys can use my code or the link that will be in the description to get up to 21 free meals and free shipping on your first box. It's really good. Highly recommended. Outside of that, we're going to jump right in the tier list. So, starting off, we have Countess. I think Countess is the best mage in the game. I think because of where the other mages are gonna go, I think Countess has to be S tier. Oh, this is Crashy's tier list. Hot Lamau. Can I make this bigger? I really want this to be bigger. That's okay. Anyway, I think Countess has to be S tier. I think she's better than all the other mages. Period. Normal view. This is normal view. What do you mean? Like this? I don't want this. Presentation mode better. Full screen. We're just going. Countess S tier has to be better. She's better than all the other mages. You can build her tank, which I don't think is fantastic. But you can build her full damage and kill people. Triple pen build, you one-shot people late game, top tier. Crunch. Crunch just got nerfed. I'm actually going to put Crunch in D tier. I think Crunch is one of the worst heroes in the game. They just nerfed him in solo lane and jungle, right? Because his passive healing no longer procs on... It no longer procs on minions. That's what I'm looking for. So, he got worse. And I think he was already pretty bad. So I don't know why they nerfed him. He has this weird, like, mid-game spike. Like, you hit level 6 in off lane, and you win 1v1s for, like, the next 5 minutes. And then you're going back to doing nothing. It's really an odd character. Decker's A tier. Decker's one of the top 2 supports in the game. She's pretty cracked, but it depends on your team comp. You need the correct team comp to play her. Because you have to know that when you pick Decker, you don't have a front line. So, without the front line, you need it somewhere else. If you have a tanky jungler and a tanky solo laner, pick Decker. She's really good. Drongo. I think Drongo's A tier. I think Drongo's the best of the other 3 carries. I think he's very good. Silence is an overpowered ability. He has the best mobility out of all of them. He holds left click the best late game, which is really all you need from them. Outside of Sparrow, but we'll get there when we get there. Fang Mao. This is a big one for me, all right? Because I know that you guys all hate Fang Mao. You guys think Fang Mao sucks. I think Fang Mao's A tier. I think that this character is... I think people are bad at him, period. I think that no one can play this character. And I think that he is much better than people give him credit for. Obviously, I will say asterisk, as an assassin, he has pub stomp potential, okay? So in your guys' games, in any games really, if you get a lead, Fang Mao feels really good. But I've had games where I'm even, and you can just do things on Fang Mao that you can't do on other characters. Also, the assassin build, especially for Fang Mao, right? The build is Painweaver, Dread, Omen, Tainted Blade, Bill. This build, if you go Ordis, you have like 70 CDR. You have like 70 haste, which is like 45% CDR. Your dash is on like a 7-second cooldown. You can reduce it more with your hamstring. Your shield is on like a 5-second cooldown. You are scarily tanky because you have so many shields, and you have a lot of burst damage. I think he's very strong. He has more mobility than anyone else in the game. You can get in and out very easily. The execute is just kind of a... The execute is a cherry on top. No malady. You don't need clear on Fang Mao. Your E is on a 3-second cooldown when you get the build online. Just go Painweaver first. It has the best stats. You don't need the clear. Faye. I'm gonna do this. I think Countess is the best. I think Countess is the best mage, but I think Faye. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put Faye in A tier, and then we're gonna switch the rest of the mages, because I think Faye is a very solid second place. The buff to Faye's E means that if you max your E in lane, when you max your E in lane, you win the game. You get to literally run down the enemy mid laner. If they step up, they get hit by an E. If they step up again, they get hit by an E. At 10 minutes, your E is doing like 200 damage with one item online. 200, 250, 300 as it stacks up. It's a really strong ability. If you max that first, you get to just poke people out of lane. They don't get to play. The ult nerf kind of stinks, still really strong. Gadget, next up. I'm gonna put Gadget in B, and I'll explain this. All the mages are going in B. I'm just gonna do this. Where's the other one? There he is. I think these are still all strong characters. I think they are entirely matchup dependent. I think all of these characters do the exact same thing against other characters. I think Gadget got hit the hardest with the Azure Core nerf. Belica gets away without Azure Core. Your passive gives you so much mana. Obviously, it was a bonus to have Azure Core, but you don't need it. You get so much mana from your passive that you're able to not build it, and you don't have very many mana issues on Belica. The drone buff, pretty nice, actually. Not a total throw ability right now. Everyone else is kind of just mid. They're just kind of there. They all do the same thing to me. I think Howitzer is the only one that I could drop down a tier. Let's be clear. All of these could be A. I could put all 4 of those guys A and Howitzer in B. And this would still be fine. I'll probably leave them here. Faye's definitely the second best, but I think everyone else is even. I think Howie really loses out on the fact that his ultimate is Countess ult, but worse. It's Countess ult, but you don't kill someone. Countess ult does more damage. It has a CC on it. You can use it to interrupt Gideon ult, you know, that kind of thing. Howitzer ult is really easy to cancel once you get like used to how he moves in the air. I think he's just a little bit of a step down from everyone else, but everyone else is still good. Azure Core is kind of bad now. I've been trying not to build it. I think it takes too long to come on. Grux. Grux is a top tier solo laner. Grux is really strong. I think Grux is maybe not the best solo laner, but like top 2 probably. Maybe top 3. Kallari, I'm gonna put Kallari in B tier. I think she's worse than Feng Mao. That's the reasoning here. Kallari has no survivability. If you get caught on Kallari, you are dead. You just die. If you get caught on Feng Mao, you have a chance. Again, still an assassin, full damage build. You're probably dead if you get caught either way. Kallari, you can get into the backline once you get against people that know how to hold the stun for when Kallari opens on your carry. You lose. Feng Mao, I think with your mobility, you kind of get to dodge a lot of that. So that's the reasoning that Feng Mao is better than Kallari. Chimera. I think he's got to be an A tier. Really strong jungler. Downside, no, you can't play this solo lane. People try to tell you can play it solo lane. Don't play it solo lane. You're throwing. Not worth it. It's playable, but it's too hard to play. It's too risky. You're not going to do it right. You're going to get poked out in lane. You're going to not farm. Tough. Murdoch, I think he's a B tier carry. He's not as good as Drongo. So he's going to be a step down from Drongo. Same thing, just holds left click. Slightly more survivability than the other carries, but I don't think it matters. Muriel, I'm going to put Muriel in C. Very situational. I don't even know when you would pick this character. Like, I'm struggling to think of a time when you want to pick this character. Maybe if you have Sparrow on your team. I think if you pick Sparrow, you maybe go Muriel. And you just try your best to babysit her. But at that point, I think I'd rather have any of the other supports anyway. Narbash, same thing. This is a nothing character. This character is a fucking walking stun. This character has one real ability, and that's his thunk. One real ability. The rest of his kit is actually just like not recommended. The heal doesn't heal enough. The movement speed is a good ability. Okay, the movement speed's a decent ability. Thunk, good ability. Ult, trash ability. That's he's just, this is a nothing character. The only thing you can do is babysit your backline. If you have a really good carry player, you can play Narbash. Outside of that, don't. I'm tempted to even put Muriel below him because I think I'd rather have a Narbash than a Muriel. Rampage. You guys know how I feel about Rampage. Now the question is, Pinzo, where do you put Rampage? The question is, where does Rampage go? I think Rampage is borderline A and B tier. I'm gonna put him in A tier at the moment. Until tank damage gets nerfed, Rampage is unfortunately a fairly good pick. I hate this character. I think his kit is trash, but he is unfortunately a pretty good jungler. Drongo's way better than Murdoch. Rampage is SS. I think that Rampage is SS because people are too scared to play good carries. I honestly think that's the reason. I think that people are too scared to play Sparrow. Now that Revenant's in the game, I think you will see Rampage drop. I think the Revenant is also pretty good against Rampage. I think that you guys will see Rampage drop a little bit. As long as those tank junglers are still really, really good, like Dynamo, Fire Blossom are still the best 2 items in the game, he's going to be really good. I don't like it because his kit is trash. His ultimate sucks PP balls. The only thing his ultimate does is gives you an instant stun. Other than that, it fucking triples your hitbox. I don't like this character, but he's decent. Moving on, Richter. I think Richter's S tier. I think Richter's borderline best character in the game. I know that this is not like the top pick, top ban or whatever of the rest of the tournament or whatever that happened. I think Richter's top tier. I think Richter is possibly the best character in the game. Play it solo, play it support, play it jungle. If you play it jungle, you should get farmed. Okay, if people know how to play against you, he's good. I'll play it mid. But bro, I played ADC in that Fire Blossom video. Richter plays 5 roles. Okay, he plays realistically 3.5 if you're gonna count mid. I think you can make him work in mid. But really strong character. I really like this character. I think he's very, very good. Let's see. Downside to Richter. Sorry. Downside to Richter. You have to stand still to do all your damage. If you build him full damage, you're gonna die when you ult. That's the downside. But I still think he's good. Sevarog. Sevarog's probably B tier. I think he got a huge buff with Lifebinder, but it takes away a defense slot. So you're going to be squishy on Sevarog if you go Lifebinder. But I still think he's good. If you go... you don't need to go Fire Blossom on Sevarog. But if you go Flux Matrix, World Breaker, Lifebinder as 3 of your items, and then you go 2... You have to go 2 really tanky items. You need, like, Void Helm and Warden's Faith as your last 2 items. But if that's like the build, you do a lot of damage and you don't die very fast on this character. So I think he's good, but I wouldn't pick him over like a Grux. Sparrow. I think Sparrow's in the same realm as Murdoch. I think these are both B tier characters. Sparrow just really suffers from mobility loss. I think she is really good when people... You have to build a team comp around a Sparrow. You have to, I think if you're going to play Sparrow, you have to play Countess if you're going to play Sparrow. And I think you have to have something that literally doesn't leave the back line. You have to have, like, I'm trying to think even what I would want back there. Like a Grux solo, a full tank Grux solo that babysits Sparrow. Like, that's the kind of stuff you have to do. But I think she can be good if you build a team comp around her. Otherwise, she's pretty situational. Steel, also A tier. I personally think this character is slightly overrated. I know that hurts to say. Very good Dynamo user, a very, very good Fire Blossom user. I think he's a little overvalued. I think if a Steel hard counter Sparrow, Steel is pretty good into Richter. But other than that, I would play this in the solo lane anyway. I don't even think he's a very good support. Like, obviously, late game, he does the same thing. He does the same thing late game, where if you're playing him solo or support, you dunk people and you kill people with Steel. I would rather have him in the solo lane. I'd rather have like a Decker in a support and then a Steel in the solo lane. I think he's a better solo laner than he is a support. Revenant. Obviously, Revenant's the new character. Is he good? He's very good. I'm tempted to put him into A, but I really do think he deserves S. I wish I could put him in A, but he's going to get nerfed. And if when they nerf him, he is going to be on par with Drongo, I think. I still think he'll be above Murdoch and Sparrow. The issue right now, why you guys think that Revenant might be either really good or really bad, those are kind of the two opinions I've gotten on Revenant. You're playing Revenant versus Revenant. So Revenant's big thing is that up until about level 9, Revenant has the most insane early game pressure of any ADC in this game. By far. Not close. He just outpressures everyone. When you're playing against another Revenant, then that pressure is kind of lost. You kind of just like butt heads on it. When you are playing Revenant against something like Murdoch, which also has a decent early pressure, but not as much as Revenant, or a Sparrow, which has no early pressure, you're just going to slaughter them. It will not be close. So in a draft setting where there's no mirror picks, I think Revenant gets better. I'm going to put him in S tier. I think he's much better in a not mirrored setting. I think he gets way better. Decker's not S. You are correct, Chode. She is in A. Decker is very good. Think Kalari could go A? I don't think so. I don't think Kalari goes A. I think she's too much of a pub stomper. Rev mid? No, I wouldn't. He, again, any carry in mid, any carry that's already in mid, you're going to already pressure out mages for the first 10 minutes of the game. Revenant's going to do that harder, I guess, but then at the 15-minute mark, when a mage has 2 items online, they're going to be able to hit you back. Grux not S? Grux is not an S tier. I don't think any solo laners are S tier picks right now. I think solo lane is not S tier. No one in solo lane. Like I think the only option for an S tier solo laner is Steel. I agree, Crashy. Mirrors make certain characters look really good and really bad. I think Revenant is one of those where Revenant looks like kind of just a pub stompy roly character, but it's because you're playing against another Revenant. If you get in a match that's Revenant versus Drongo, Revenant fucking slaughters Drongo for 9 levels, and then Drongo comes online a little bit and can fight back. It's gonna be crazy once we see what we can do without mirrors. I agree. The mirrors they make some characters look really good. I will not do an overprime tier list. I haven't played overprime in 3 weeks, bro. I know Wukong sucks balls, but that's all I know. Gadget not S tier. I think Gadget got hit really hard with the Ajra core change. I think Gadget got hit too hard with the Ajra core change. Like, Gadget is the only other one that I would consider dropping down, but she does so much objective damage, she has to be on par with the other ones. The Ajra core change, you have to go Ajra core on Gadget because of your passive. So you're already going to go Ajra core. It's going to take longer to stack. You still go Soul Bearer, but you basically go the same build on Gadget that you did before. It's just that it's not as good. It comes online later. She's not going to be able to full combo people at 12 minutes because you won't have Ajra core stacked. But that's going to be it for it. This is going to be my list. I'm pretty happy with this. I think the only things that I could move are I think I could move Steel up, and I think I could move Muriel down. I think those are really the only changes. Like if Steel was S and Muriel was D, I'd be happy. I think this is usable for me. But I'm gonna keep it where I had it. This is obviously not in order. I'm not ordering each tier, okay? This is just where they lie. Like, I think Steel and Rampage are probably the top of A tier with Decker. Then everyone else is a little lower. But, like, I'm not going to order it that way. But that's all I've got for you guys. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Ask any questions, and I'll let you guys know what I think down below. That's all I've got for you guys. So, as always, I've been Pinzo. This video's donezo. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.